let us continue with our sequence of looking at the paper by looking at the introduction to the paper. Now remember, the introduction is a description of what you did. It answers the question, what was the problem I studied? What was the problem I studied? It always goes from the general or the broad down to the specific, and it presents what the problem is you're studying, the nature of it, the scope of it, the breadth of it. You also may indicate how this study fits into the bigger question of the topic. You may review the pertinent literature, but most importantly, you're presenting the goals and the objectives of the study. Again, let's go over a couple of key points about the introduction. We go from the broad down to the specific, and then your objectives are the most specific. That's the key. We're going from the broad down to the specific. By going from the broad to the specific, from the big to the small, you are narrowing down the topic, making it narrower and narrower, so that at the end you get to your own research. So, say 3 paragraphs getting narrower and narrower, and then a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, the objectives of your research. Okay, so that's very, very important. So the introduction, again, remembering the idea of topic sentences. The first sentence conveys the meaning of the entire paragraph. Okay, now here's one of the things I want you to do before we meet again on Monday. I want you to look at a scientific paper. I want you to look, let's say 2 or 3 scientific papers that are related to your research that you're doing or that you think you're going to do. And I want you to look at the first sentence of each paragraph and look and see whether they are good topic sentences. The first sentence of each paragraph, are they good topic sentences? And the key is always, can I follow that by the phrase, for example, or however, or in contrast? So I want you to look at 3 scientific papers and see if in fact you can see if they follow this idea that they open up each paragraph with a topic sentence. That's the first one. The second is that I want you to come up with an outline, using either of the techniques that we have. Can I just take this for a second? Of either this or this. I'm sorry I didn't number the pages. Or both. And only do an outline of the introduction and methods. So just if you use this, it's phrases or ideas. If you use this, it maybe is more words. Now, if you are already doing research, you can use your research topic. But if you are not, what we're going to do is I'm going to give you a topic. Say, for example, you just did a study of what are the good restaurants in Sakai. What are the good restaurants? Or the good noodle shops? You could, anything you want. And what I want you to do is to write the outline of an introduction going from the broad to the narrow to then your objectives, and then to write out an outline of your methods. For example, you may, if you chose this topic, a possible topic sentence in the big is that food is very important to Japanese people. Your next topic sentence may be, the Osaka prefecture has many unique kinds of food. Your next is, Sakai because of its population with people from many places, may have special types of restaurants. And then you would give the objectives of your study. You also may say your methods would be, first, criteria for what is a good restaurant. Cleanliness, good taste, price, inexpensive. So if you were doing this as a topic, you would come up with an outline of how you would report your information. Now you can do this in groups, even better if you did it in groups of 2 or 3 and have some ideas by Monday. Another topic, if you don't like the idea of restaurants in Sakai, is what makes a good soccer team? What makes a good soccer team? So you could say soccer is worldwide the biggest sport in the world. Soccer in Japan is important because of the World Cup coming up next year. Soccer in Osaka is important because, and so the objectives of your study. Methods. How would you do that? So you can do your own research, you can do the food, you can do soccer, or you can do any one you want. But I want you to work in groups and think about how you would come up with an outline.